had a big old video at the start of Smackdown telling you how important the bloodline and the Ula Fowler were. Don't forget the Ula Fowler is made of crack. Now, if you didn't watch last week's episode of Ups and Downs, you're rightfully going to be very confused. Also, hello my friends and welcome to Ups and Downs, the show where we do take our finger a pound, we give the good bits up and the bad bits are down. And listen, because I am recording this on Saturday before All In, do not forget on Sunday morning What Culture are having their live event before the big Wembley show. So if you'd like to come down and say hello, you should. And it does sound like we're going to have some special guests. Let's up those doubts. When we did get right into the Grayson Waller effect, which is a very interesting talk show, I mean, it literally has no schedule, it just happens. Austin Theory was there too, which is a very weird position to be in. He was kind of stood there when they did invite Cody Rhodes, their guest, to the ring. Grayson Waller is so good. He just cut off his entrance. He was like, nah, mate, it's a talk show. You gotta get down here and talk. Nobody wants all of this to be about you. One of them basically called Cody a massive idiot and said that he was a terrible friend. That made me giggle. What a very direct insult. Rhodes assumed he was talking about his opponent at the pay-per-view premium live event, Kevin Owens, when he reminded everyone KO has been fighting the bloodline for basically 4 years, and before Cody Rhodes even came back to the WWE. That's right, many of us were just fetuses when Kevin tried to take down Roman Reigns and his crew. I suppose he was totally unsuccessful because they still running wild. He certainly never used Kevin though when he reversed this logic against Grayson Waller. And he looked at Austin Theory and said, do you not see this moron is using you? And we're all sat here waiting for you to do something about it. I love that. He quite literally addressed what we've all been talking about when it comes to these two buffoons. Cody also called Theory Magic Mike, which made me laugh. And Grace was like, all right, mate, why don't I show you this video I've made? And he had a totally different tack to take. And it was just Kevin Owens turning on all of his partners, including Chris Jericho. They looked at the Festival of Friendship. The idea was to tell Rhodes that this always happens, so it's going to happen again. I suppose Kevin Owens was behind the curtain saying, listen, they better not talk about my past, because if they do, I'm headed to the ring. Here he came. As ever though, Kevin Owens could just be the greatest wrestler of the modern day, because he was like, look, we all know that everybody in that video had it coming, except for Kofi Kingston. Kofi, I'm very sorry. I think I love this man. He then cemented that 1, he does watch the show, and 2, he's like some walking fourth wall breaker. Because he's like, look, we all know what's going to happen. We're going to get in there. We're going to brawl. And then Nick Aldis is going to announce a tag team match. So Nick, why don't you just come out here and announce the tag team match? So Nick Aldis walked out and went, yeah, let's just do a tag team match. Honestly, it's the best segment that's ever happened. Owens then put the cherry on top because he's like, do you mind if I still punch Grayson Waller in the face? And Nick was like, right, fine, we'll do it quick, like he was your dad. And they then all did go and punch each other in the face. So yes, sure, maybe at the moment it doesn't feel like a hardcore title feud, as essentially we are doing friend versus friend. But if I was tuning in for entertainment, which I did so on this evening, I am definitely giving it up. This Kevin Owens, I tell you, eventually I'm going to put him on my Mount Rushmore. It just makes me laugh. That was also doubly true because before this ended, he walked over to Cody and said, see, they don't have adrenaline in their soul. So I was done when it was LA Knight versus Santos Escobar for the US title. Now, Berto and Angel just pulled LA Knight out the ring before the bell even rung, which technically was illegal. The bell rang, the ref thought, I'm still going to get rid of you, you couple of schmerals. What were you trying to achieve? It was really good though, because LA then snuck in with the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up, and he did get a 1-2. Then they went at it like bulls. Escobar then came back and slammed him, which actually turned out to be terrible because it triggered the most powerful force in all of sports entertainment, the commercial break. And surprise, surprise, when we did come back from the advert, LA Knight hit him with a neck breaker because he wanted to break his neck. So how many times have I told you, go in the production truck and said, right, who's got it in for me? Because I've got an advert in my match. Knight also slammed Escobar into Alan the announce table when Santos came back with this awesome double knees using Barry Barricade. When they got back in the ring, he hit the splash of the frogs. Now I will admit the one thing this match was missing was jeopardy, because not in my wildest dreams did I ever think that Santos Escobar was going to win. And that is something that we do need to do going down the line. We're going to have to put people up against LA Knight that give us that sense of, oh, anything can happen. So while this was a very, very good and fun match, it didn't have that. It was true as well because LA then avoided the elbow when he hit Santos with a flipping atomic drop. And I was like, damn right, give me 1980s moves for life. But essentially, he went to the top rope, he hit elbow of his own, and after some back and forth, he got the BFT, 1, 2, 3. There's always that rhyme, so he must have done something good. And look, LA Knight is just so over. You can't help but enjoy him giving it an up. Carmelo Hayes was then talking from the barbershop because why wouldn't you do that during a Smackdown when he told Andrade he doesn't like him. When Andrade walked in, he was like, listen, you disrespected me, pal. So now we gotta fight next week. Now I need to apologize because I got this totally wrong, because the way WWE has done this, to use annoying words, has been so organic, but also they're essentially having a best of 7, but we're not being told it's a best of 7, because that way, we just talked about it, it means every time you go into the match, you don't go, well, we have 72 million more matches to go. We don't know that because nobody has made it official. It's like an Iron Man match, right? If you really want to, you could just watch the last 10 minutes of the Iron Man match, because that's when you know the good stuff is going to go down. So by not telling us it's a best of 7, it just feels more exciting. That didn't make any sense, but massive round of applause. This is very well done. We also saw Santos get super mad at Legado del Fantasma because they suck, and then walked Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin. This was so funny. They just went, ha ha ha, you lost. That's it. That's what they found amusing. But of course, we are setting up for this feud, which we have been teasing for weeks. And when we do get into the nitty gritty, let's allow Apollo and Baron to show their chops, whatever that means. But do not forget the team between Baron and Bron Breakker was so good because they had the same opportunity. So let's do it with these T2. When Jade, Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair were a team again, and I do believe here their outfits were representing Simone Biles and outfits that she had worn. So I thought that was super duper nice. They were also facing Isla, Alba, Fyre, and Blair Davenport, who I think know there's a spooky twins. And honestly, if the whole point of putting Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill together is just to ensure Jade keeps getting better and better and better, it's totally worked. When she got the tag here, all she did was power moves, but she looked so damn good. This crowd, they went totally crazy. Now, Isla tried to whoop Bianca to begin with, but you can't do that to Bianca Belair, so she came back with all of the moves when she got hit with the most powerful force in all of sports entertainment, the commercial break. Even Bianca can't handle that one, and when we came back, somebody gave her a neck breaker. I was like, I told you, why no one listened to me? Davenport, Isla, and Alba actually did some really good triple team moves here, so maybe that's something we should look into. But once again, nobody thought they were going to win here, especially given current storylines. They also made a terrible error, because once again, no one listens to what I say, because eventually they hit the D-pad and they taunted. So even though they were on top, I mean, it took a while, but eventually Bianca Belair used that time and she charged up her med pack. She got the tag. We also did that thing where it was like, oh, she is going to tag Jade Cargill. Oh, she didn't tag Jade Cargill. Oh, she did tag Jade Cargill. This is when Jade got in there and just went crazy wazy. You don't have to overthink it, man. Do it every week. Naomi then got in there and she hit some crossbodies and spammed the DDTs. And in the corner, Cargill was just killing Alba Fyre. Once again, it really made me laugh. Bianca was then back as sort of the captain of the team to get rid of all this craziness, as it was Naomi who hit the split-legged moonsault and she got the 1, 2, 3. And she also cleared Blair Davenport, and that ties in because they've been feuding. And last week, Blair Davenport beat her. Now I do believe they're going to fight in the speed tournament. So this was really fun. I thought everybody shone here. I'm still going to stand on my little ceremony and say I think it needs more story, but I ain't going to care about that tonight. I'm going to give it up. Natalia was then narrating over this Bash at Berlin video where we focused on Bret Hart, Owen Hart, and the British Bulldog. This kind of got me in my tum-tum. I mean, when was the last time we did that? You should go and watch it. It's very, very good. When here came the Bloodline, and we now got to the point where I'm like, I'm really excited. But they always do something interesting. So Sikoa told Washington to acknowledge him as well. Of course, he got booed. When, because he had some stuff to sort out, he was like, would you shut up? I have things to say. It's like your dad. He also claimed the OTC is done. Also, only Tigers care Roman Reigns. Imagine he was. He never came back. The Line of the Blood beat him up, and he's done. It meant the Solo is keeping an eye on Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes, because whoever wins that, he's got next. When he was like, right, we need to talk about the tag team titles. Jacob Fatu step up. And I got quite excited because I was like, I agree, Sikoa. We should probably just have one set of tag team titles that runs wild on Raw and SmackDown. But he didn't mean that. And he said, Jacob, you've got to give your belt to Tangaloa, because if you're going to be my personal security guard, you can't be in tag team title matches. Kind of stared off into the distance here, and I was like, I don't think that makes any sense. It's a bit like me telling you can come to my party, but only if you ride in on a horse. It's like, how do those two things equate? The best part was, when he did give his belt to Tangaloa, the crowd chanted, you can't wrestle. Which is really mean, but too, man, don't you come up to my boy Tangaloa. I love him more every single week. He's just a really weird cat. But I mean, I find him super entertaining. Now, Jacob Fatu didn't care because after he embraced Solo Sikoa, he was just shouting, I love you, Solo. I love you. And maybe this is the first time I was like, well, Jacob actually must be injured. But then later on, he was busting out super kicks, so I have no idea. The Street Profits didn't care about this, so they interrupted and basically went, the Bloodline, you totally suck. That's because we were about to have a tag team title match. So surely this is all going to come back around eventually and will be one of the reasons Fatu turns on Solo Sikoa. And that is why I am giving it an up, because WWE has renewed my faith. Every single thing they do usually connects to something else, and if we do that, it will make me go crazy. That's the whole point of wrestling. When we did have the former GOD taking on the Street Profits, and listen, we'll do it again. 1, super good match, but 2, never actually believed that Bloodline was going to lose. I should point out before all of this, we also had a quick interview with LA Knight, who said, I'm going to do an open challenge next week in Berlin. I had a mini meltdown. I was like, please beat Alex Rice. Realistically, it will probably be Ilya Dragunov, because that's the way you get around the Raw Smackdown stuff. And look, he is in basically his hometown. He deserves that pop. Also, those two will have a good match. The Tongans made sure to take out Angelo Dawkins after that, when Montez Ford was able to get a moonsault, when Tangaloa, I think, was super mad while people were shouting at him, so he hit a neck breaker too. Once again, you can't wrestle if you ain't got no head. It didn't work though, because Loa instead got smacked in the head as Dawkins was here to hit the sky high, as Montez Ford hit the splash of the frogs. It's like, oh, it's number 2 for the night. Now, Tonga was able to break that up when they did start fighting on the outside. And do you want to know how much of a powerful force the Bloodline are? We did cut to the commercial break. When we came back, they were still in control. Oh my gosh. Sadly though, Tongalo then got DDT'd, meaning we got the hot tag to Angelo, who just went totally wild here. We've talked about this before, he does a good hot tag. We then got even more neck breakers, so I was telling everybody to calm down when Montez did his awesome dive over the top rope. I actually think I could watch that every day for the rest of my life. Now the issue was, Jacob Fatu was watching from ringside, and he then decided, nah, I don't want to see any more wrestling. So as Solo Sikoa cast a distraction in the corner, he just super kicked everybody. Even though he's got a damn walking boot on, he threw him into the ring, which is when Tama Tonga hit the flatliner. 1, 2, 3. So Dawkins was totally done, even though Montez Ford tried to help. The Bloodline totally swarmed him. And very interestingly, DIY came out to make the save, but this was about as successful as me entering a hair contest. It did not work. Instead, Fatu took them out with his awesome pop-up Samoan drops, and don't worry, he is Samoan, when Solo Sikoa was so mad he took off his glove and he spiked them all. Now I am really intrigued what we do with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, especially because later we had B-Fab and Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae freaking out in the back because maybe they were injured. So we watch this space, but it goes to show, you do not mess with the Bloodline, otherwise the Bloodline will mess with you. Maybe we should add a female member in there too, and she can go kill those 3. Don't know what I'm talking about. We then teased that maybe Kevin Owens would turn on Cody Rhodes in the main event because they were in the back. Kevin was like, listen, Cody, I promise I will not turn on you. So you were like, that's exactly what you would say. We also got a beach-in video, which is really cool, because hopefully we're going to get behind her. When we cut to Pretty Deadly, they were trying to fix Nia Jax's crown. Instantly, I was the happiest man on the planet. Tiffany Stratton was also there freaking out, going, I'm so sorry what happened last week. Is there anything I can do for you, Nia Jax? Nia went, yeah, fix my crown. So these guys as a group is already the best thing ever. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven were literally just there having a conversation against Nia too. Like they couldn't have been even closer when Jax popped round the corner. As always, Chelsea Green's facial reactions are hilarious. Given that they were talking about the state of the Money in the Bank briefcase, Nia Jax then scared them away by saying, next week I will destroy Michin. And given this only went 2 minutes, it's actually way more entertaining than I think it had any right to be. And also, I think we're going to have to turn Chelsea Green babyface. She's way too funny. So yeah, once again, I want to underline that I love these bunch of idiots already. But 2, where the flub is Bayley? Maybe something happened on SmackDown I've totally forgotten, but the fact I have forgotten means it probably wasn't a very good write-off angle, so that is getting it down. Bring back Bayley, damn it, and give her a big push. Finally. When we did get to our main event, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory taking on Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. You know the deal. The whole time it was like, well, I wonder if Kevin Owens will turn on Cody. He definitely will, he definitely will, he definitely will, and he did. Instead, they actually worked very well together as a tag team because they do have the power of friendship, and they were whooping Grayson Waller's ass. That's the point, because Grayson Waller can be an ass, so you want to make sure his ass is whooped. Theory then tagged in and was able to get the rolling drop kick when we did cut to the commercial break. And I was actually intrigued to see what was going to happen here. And yeah, we came back to madness. Because Waller and Owens were both on top of Tina the turnbuckle when Kevin just shoved him off, and he hit the splash of the frogs. I was there making my notes. I was like, damn, that's the 3rd one for the evening. Everybody loves frogs. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory then beat up Kevin Owens for a while, which is when we did what we'd done earlier. We're like, oh, KO's going to tag Cody. Oh, he wasn't able to do it. Oh, he tagged Cody. And Cody got the hot tag. And listen, everybody went totally nuts. It's a joy to see. He was able to hit the disaster kick almost instantly when Austin Theory was being a massive dickhead, so Grayson Waller hit his own version of the flatliner. but I only got a 1-2 ooh. This is when the Cody cutter came out from nowhere, when Cody did the same thing of, oh, I need to get the hot tag, I didn't get the hot tag, and he did get the hot tag, and Kevin Owens this time went crazy. Listen, I'm being slightly facetious here. This was just a fun old time. He hit a swanton for a 1-2 ooh when Rhodes was like, man, I'm just done with this. And he got the crossroads as Kevin Owens got the pop-up power bomb to get the 1-2-3. And that's massively important because ever since we have started the heel turn, all of a sudden Kevin Owens is using that pop-up power bomb again. Of course, that ties into his own character. This has been done on purpose. The best part was that after they were done celebrating, we cut back to this camera angle where it looked like Owens was about to waffle Cody with the belt, but instead he stormed up and he just passed it to him. I want to point this out. In terms of doing something in a friendly way, no one has ever acted like that. It was great though, because it did get me in my tootsie toes, and I am going to give this an up. Again, I know, I get it. It's kind of just trotting along here. I've already talked about it earlier. I just find it very entertaining, and that's why I watch the show. Which is the same for SmackDown. It was one of those episodes where we're like, we have that go-home show next week, so here, we won't coast, but we'll just kind of tick the boxes. I don't know, it just served my needs today, whatever that means. Now please do drop me a comment below and let me know what you thought about last night's episode of SmackDown. Like the video, share the video and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which is ups and downs for AEW, to enjoy all my wrestling thoughts. Otherwise, have a great weekend, my friends. See you soon.